So if you want to go ahead and read that yourself, in my opinion, that's what happened to the kids from Sandy Hook. You can see that the Phoenician um, child sacrifice, the Jews took it, and then they did it. And you can read right there, the parents don't show any emotion, kind of like the interviews that they showed on TV. Amazing. That's really, really interesting stuff. But, of course, we know, according to fable, that it's all a hoax. Really, because these books that I'm getting this stuff out of are like from the 1800s. So, I don't know. I'm being sarcastic when I say I don't know. I know for a fact they murdered those kids. They murdered those kids because this whole thing is fucking completely out of whack. Whatever this deity is that they think that they're worshiping. Somewhere something got lost in translation, and this all became some fucked up religion, weird shit that was never supposed to be. But you can read it for yourself right there. That's exactly what happened to those kids. I don't give a rat's ass what anybody says. No matter how much they try and hide it, they did that shit. And you can find this in multiple writings, old writings and stuff, that they always did this. They ain't changed shit. Nothing's changed. You know, it's like, it appears to me it's like there must have been some big-ass fucking machine a long time ago that did all kinds of wonderful things. It wasn't God, but it did things here. And at some point, this thing broke. And when it broke, nobody knew how to fix it. Kind of like Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall. And so as time went on, there were stories told about this thing, but because nobody could get this thing to work, the longer time went on, the dumber people became of its existence and what it really did. And at some point, people became so stupid that they started doing things to try and appease it. And then the truth of it got so far out of whack that they figured, fuck it, we'll start sacrificing things. Maybe that'll get this thing going again. And then it became a religion. And then they got people to act out the same shit, except not to the same extent, called it organized religion. I mean, that's what this seems like to me. I don't think any of this stuff was ever supposed to be put in a religious context. I think there was something a long time ago that had nothing to do with any of this and has been twisted into making us do all of this today. Well, I'll give you another example. Suppose there's an island in the Pacific, an airplane flies over and drops supplies during World War II. People never seen an airplane. They don't know what it is. They think it's some kind of god. Airplane crashes. The pilots get killed. They don't know who the guys are. So they make a shrine to these guys, and they bring in gifts and stuff, and the airplane doesn't fly. It doesn't bring food, and it doesn't, fly over them. So they figure they've done something to piss it off. So they keep on trying more and more things until eventually they start killing children and stuff to try and get this thing to work. But only certain people know how it works, but they really don't know how it works. That's just their story. And so they keep all the other people blind, deaf, and dumb, and they don't know how to make it work either. And they never tell them the truth that it never had anything to do whatsoever with the thing that they think that it did. It was never a god. It was never anything. It was just an airplane. But because they'd never seen one and nobody ever hipped them to how an airplane works, in their eyes, it will always be a god because there's some idiot up there in a cape doing a fucking booga booga dance, and they still do the same thing in the churches, scaring the shit out of people. That's just my take on it. Somewhere down the road, something a long time ago got twisted. There was never supposed to be religion, or it was never supposed to be a god of sorts. Something where the story got so fucked up that some people that understood what it was took that and said, well, I understand and only I can go in and see it and do all of this bullshit. And then they started using that to leverage for goods and services and, private midnight oases and that type of shit. kind of like what the Catholic Church is today. And so, because they know God, right? And so, they get special favor. But in reality, it has nothing to do with any of that stuff. This is my point. I mean, if you go in Genesis, why does it say, and God said, I shall not always strive to be with mankind, but only 120 years? Well, there's your 3. But why is it saying, I will not always strive to be with mankind? Sounds to me like it wasn't supposed to be a forever thing anyway. All I know is somewhere down the line, somebody took the story, twisted the fuck out of it, got a bunch of people to believe it, and a bunch of people are in on the joke, because the church does absolutely nothing. Not saying that the people in it don't have the best of intentions and believe, but this whole thing is completely out of whack. Like I told you, all the religions wear 2 colors. They either wear black or they wear fucking purple. And the reason for the purple is it represents the female, but it's the closest to black. Purple is the closest color to black that you can get. There is no other color that comes close. So it's the female aspect of the Saturnian thing. Somewhere this whole electrical system winding up being a god. And I don't understand how that happened, but it's so far removed from us, the story may never be told the correct way. But this shit right here, they murdered those kids. They murdered them. Just like they did then in the name of Saturn, they're doing the same thing today. That's why those parents on TV, they weren't actors. To them, it was an honor to do that shit. To them, it was an honor. That's why you don't see a tear in their eye. And they have these wonderful memories of these kids because they voluntarily fucking killed them. People are so fucking lost to the fact that this shit actually happened. And there's a billion videos out there saying it's a hoax. And I'm like the only guy, maybe a few others, that are fucking actually screaming and showing evidence that this shit's been going on forever. But no, can't be bothered with the truth. We have to go with the one that has the most type of videos, which is the hoax thing. Because that's the mentality of the fucking idiots walking around here. Don't search for the truth. Just go with the most popular video. That would be the way to go. And then you'll be in with the in crowd. Morons.